largely underdeveloped and largely small scale. Key challenges include feedstock shortage, poor infrastructure, and high production costs. Current landscape and differential for Nigeria feedstock, which has been considered by the Nigerian government, they have decided primarily source from palm oil, palm kernel oil, and Jatropha. So there is increasing interest in using agriculture waste like rice burn to avoid competing with food production. Probably you have heard a word that is Jatropha. Now I am going to highlight. This is the latest situation in Nigeria. In 2011, one of my friends, some colleague, Professor was, he was a good chemical engineer. And he was in 2011, and he was very much interested with mathematical model. But physically, he was the chemical engineer. And during that time, I have learned something on formulation of mathematical models. And because of I did my PhD on mathematical modeling on education. So I had some knowledge to formulate mathematical model during that. When my friend told me, Priti, is it possible to formulate mathematical model for the production of biodiesel? And we gave a proposal, research proposal to the government of India, and they sanctioned it. From that time, we are doing the research on this subject, biodiesel production. I thought that whether I will be able to deliver my lecture on biodiesel production, whether I will be able to deliver my lecture on biodiesel production, as because of most of the theme area here is related. But Professor Bakari has told yesterday with the chemical next on biodiesel production. It's a very interesting, and we have developed our research work into two parts. One is ecological part, and another part is production. In your government, Nigerian government also thinking about the feedstock. They are considering palm oil, rapeseed oil, as well as Jatropha oil. But in my case, initially up to 10 years, I have considered only Jatropha oil. Jatropha oil basically produced from Jatropha Curcas plant. From Jatropha Curcas plant, you will get Jatropha oil, and from Jatropha oil, ultimately you will be able to prepare the biodiesel considering with other costs. Now, my thought was that if a mother wish to deliver a good child, what we will do? We will keep the mother during the pregnancy period. You give the good food. You give the so many things. No disease during the pregnancy will not be happening. So the child, when we deliver, the child will be related condition. This is the theme area. So, Jatropha Curcas plant is the mother then if you nurture it, so obviously it will produce more and more Jatropha, very good condition Jatropha Curcas fruits. From that Jatropha Curcas fruits, you will be able to get Jatropha bias. Am I clear? So, our target was how we will be able to make that Jatropha Curcas stand in a good condition. So we have to use formulating mathematical models. And another part, before going to introduce the control theory, we have formulated an ecological mathematical model based on that. Right? Considering all this, ultimately we have find out some condition for which the Jatropha Curcas plant will produce the maximum Jatropha seed, so that we can get the maximum production of Jatropha. We will reduce for production of fire. So one part is in ecological part, and another part is production. Production part, that is, you will be able to use Jatropha along with alcohol and so many things during the process of production is very much associated for that production. So how the condition is to be kept for the production of maximum production of fertilizer through the machine. So the research has been divided into two. One is ecological part and another is production. So my research is totally covered in this two part. Before P, I will deliver some basic theoretical knowledge on Jatropha Curcas plant, how it is to be infected, how it is to be controlled, and that I will discuss my first 1 hour lecture, and second 1 hour lecture I will discuss about the mathematical model. Okay? So my title of talk is Renewable Energy Necessity, mathematical platforms from ecology to production. So, outline of my talk is need for renewable energy, hazards of mineral oil industry. Why biodiesel? A brief introduction of biodiesel production, national and global standard. Jatropha cultivation and its ecology. Some observation on the ecological management of Jatropha. Biodiesel production process and mathematical models of Jatropha Curcas ecological, environmental, social, and production interaction. And lastly, key research. So on the basis of that, I will discuss my total length. Now, need for alternative renewable energy, we know scarcity of non-renewable fuels and fossil fuels. In the beginning of my lecture, I have mentioned in Nigerian case. The first sentence was why it is required. It's required for the scarcity of non-renewable fuels and fossil fuels, and we need the pollution-free planet. And lastly, to obtain eco-friendly sources of energy and to remove ecologically destructive sources of energy. So these three points actually to hold on our research work. Now, the fossil fuels when we are lifted from the soil, then so many hazards is very much associated during the lifting of the fossil oil. That has been mentioned, that is the noise, vibration, dynamite, vibration track, air gun, marine vessels, disturbance to human, wildlife, marine life, and low impact content. That means suppose when they are pushed to lifting the oil, they charge the gramming, they charge the air gun. There are so many noise during that production or lifting of oil and wildlife. Patient, if you come to the Africa, I will show you that Africa, typically South Africa, at this moment producing most of the biodiesel, considering that Jatropha Curcas. And all this basically, we do not wish to lifting the oil from the soil. Now, another part is my country purchasing oil from Iran, Russia. And when these oil are coming to the ship, it may be difficult. Sometimes the pipeline, or we are trying to make a pipeline from Iran to India. That has been mentioned, pipeline under construction. So when you are clearing the pipeline, there are so many problems during the making of that pipeline. That has been mentioned. Land affected by construction, leakage, spillage, and accidents, pipeline explosion, oil spoil, spill from tankers. That means when the tanker coming to see in my country from Iran or Russia, maybe it should be leakage. And during that time, so many animals come in the sea that will be and I am telling this only thing, that is how we facing the problem or the environment and impact during the lifting of the oil as well as transportation of the oil from one country to another thing. Another part is potential emergencies that sometimes we are seeing in a newspaper here too. Sometimes the oil tankers must be started, so that it can be done. And lastly, I must have to say why biodiesel. Basically, it is a renewable fuel and sustainable. It is a renewable fuel and sustainable. It is energy independent. It is not depend any other source. Foreign exchange saving. My country, when purchasing oil from Russia or Iran, a lot of foreign currency are going there. So, if you do it or produce biodiesel, it can be said rural development. If you make or target to produce biodiesel production, so ecology, arid production, so our youth people can be involved to produce that biodiesel for production, linking of biodiesel, so people will get job. So it is to be reduced by scarcity of job. And environmental benefits, that is emission benefits, energy cycle, and greenhouse gas balance. Probably you can remember in 2023, greenhouse gas balance, it was a meeting in France. All the global countries, they had signed, we are not use such type of mechanism so that the environment can keep polluted. And other things also that is carbon dioxide emission by pH 78%, carbon monoxide emission by 50%, particulate matter by 40%, pH by 90%, more free oxygen leads to complete combustion and no sulfur carcinogenesis. That means if we use biodiesel, carbon monoxide will not be occur, even if it is scheduled to run out the car or the tank. So many things are there. If you use the fossil fuel or petrol or diesel, obviously there are so many environmental functions may be occurred. But if we use biodiesel, it is not to be happen. Why biodiesel? Basically, it is an alternative fuel for biodiesel in diesel engines made from vegetable oil, fat, or animal fat. I have told you the palm oil, rapeseed oil, or Jatropha Curcas oil. These all are the vegetable oil. You can make it through animal oil, that is animal fat. Meets healthy efficacy, lower emissions, high crash point, and safer, biodegradable, essentially non-toxic. So all this eventuality can be done if we use the biodiesel. Now, the question is why we are doing it. What was our condition in my country? When I started my work, I have seen the latest position in my country. And when I delivered the lecture, before going to the lecture, I have mentioned the Nigerian country. Now in India first biodiesel plant Kakinada and Andhra Pradesh. And the facility owned by National Bioenergy was set to produce 30 million gallons of biodiesel per year obtained from Jatropha and using Belgium technology, October 2007. Later, Indian Oil Corporation has tied up with Indian Railways to introduce biodiesel crops over 1 million square kilometers. Furthermore, in one of our states, that is Jharkhand, and another state, Madhya Pradesh, have tied up with Indian Oil to cultivate large tracts of land with Jatropha. And lastly, we have prepared the Biodiesel Society of India has been formed to encourage inert plantation for increasing feed flow supply. Now, I just have mentioned here, I think it should be mentioned, in my country, the first of land is occupied by the Indian Railway line, right? And the land side by the rail line, a lot of land which is not used. Therefore, government, Indian Railway tied up with the Indian Oil Corporation. If we use this land, we can produce so many that are items. That's why they have tied up. And another thing just I mentioned here, that I am visiting China every year from 2009. Every year, I have a project in that country. In 2010, 11, 12, when I visited in China, during that time, I have given so many lectures on biodiesel production, and their production was less than our company. Less than our company. But now, in the last year, I have given again the lecture on biodiesel production, my latest research work, which has been published in the last year. And they are now producing 15 times much than past. That is why China is in every sector, they are competing with America.
Just
Am I right?
yeah.
In every aspect, they are competing with America. So we need the scientific consideration, everything. They have planning. Every year I am going and think how they are. So it's just I am sharing with you. Now, just you have to follow here. In 2002, Jatropha Curcas cube, Jatropha hot building, Jatropha Curcas oil, the production of biodiesel was this. And now in 2022, using of Jatropha Curcas plant and another one, this figure is basically Jatropha Curcas oil and other one. This is the Jatropha Curcas oil. Suppose in 2022, I have received the data, and 2022, the production of biodiesel, 80%, no, 80%, not 80%, 40% to 25% of biodiesel production is happening to get, and 55% production global. Producing no other. So that is the most important oil, cost effective oil. That's why I am telling about Jatropha Curcas. And that Jatropha Curcas plantation, I have done my work and I am going to discuss about Jatropha Curcas. Now, biodiesel is better fuel versus diesel. I have eaten greater lubricity, superior detergency, higher flash point and benefit, more mileage, greater horsepower, less smoke, smoother running engines, quicker starts, longer engine life, reduced maintenance. So this is the benefit for biodiesel and other diesel. Now raw material. What type of raw materials can be used for production of biodiesel? Palm oil, coconut oil, Jatropha oil, soybean oil, cottonseed oil, corn oil, rapeseed oil. These all oil may be used for production of biodiesel. These all are the perspective. These all are the perspective. But the most perspective is the Jatropha. Therefore, we are using Jatropha. We are doing research on Jatropha oil by Jatropha Curcas plant. Now, benefits of Jatropha, that is under optimum condition. Jatropha seeds can yield up to 40% oil content. Number two, trees have a lifespan of up to 42 45 years. Just you have to cultivate one time, Jatropha Curcas plant, its lifespan is 40 to 45. Does not need irrigation, can grow even in a sunny land. Even in a sunny land, this Jatropha Curcas plant can be grown. After crushing, the seeds for oil, the leftover seeds mass is used for excellent fertilizer. That is, I show you the Jatropha seed, and that seed, when it will crush, the other part, except the oil, that can be used for fertilizer. Small farm can easily introduce the oil into the local community. I have seen so many places in Nigeria, I have seen they can use to a community meeting. That will produce Jatropha Curcas plant. Creation of a sustainable biofuel economy that would relieve poverty provide the biomass market will provide job opportunity for the local community, and lastly, it has got medical properties which is locally applied as indigenous technological knowledge in tribal community. That means the cash, after cashing the Jatropha fruits, what you are getting, that can be used for medicinal purpose. This is the Jatropha cultivation. This is all our Jatropha cultivation. I got this picture from South. And some observations of the ecological management of the biodiesel. So how we can make a good condition of a Jatropha Curcas plant. We need all these issues. That means the evaporation, climate, variety of seeds, irrigation, soil quality, fertilizer, energy ratio, plant product protection, curing, harvesting, methods, mechanization, all these issues, and because we are very much wish to cultivate other type of plant, scientifically it must be cultivated. That issue should be considered. That is why I have given all the. If you consider all these issues, obviously that when a pregnant mother, we are giving all these supports, obviously we will deliver a good child, a healthy child. That's why if you use all these issues, obviously the Jatropha Curcas condition should be in a good condition. Now, so many years, still now, we can do this. So many years. That I have mentioned here. That is, just I am mentioning some of them. That is the complete cultivation process, harvest and pest harvest. All this is very important. IP protection, complete field support. This is the another part. So all these part, if you wish to do research, you can do at this moment. Now, when you cultivate the Jatropha Curcas plants, how it would be the density? That has been mentioned here. That is the land topography, characteristics, rainfalls, water availability, mechanization. In India, just I am telling you, nursery block plantation is to be 1 M into 1 M and 2 M into 1 M. This position, and if you cultivate the Jatropha plant, you will be considering the scientific manner. So, concluding remarks, that is the classical question of irrigation management in Jatropha Curcas, that is, when to irrigate, how much to irrigate, and how best to irrigate. This is the fundamental. When to irrigate, how much to irrigate, and how best to irrigate. So that another thing, Jatropha, the framework of irrigation scheduling, all this, that is irrigation level, should be equal to ET0 into Kc into K. That means accounts for day-to-day variations in relative humidity, temperature, wind direction, and that is evaporation demand of the atmosphere. And this case, it does reveal accounts for the suboptimal conditions while water stays, salinity stays, etc. And this case means accounts for the seasonal dynamics of the canopy size, light interpretation, and canopy conductance. So this is the pipeline. Some of the country, even in China, they are using these Jatropha plants. They are giving potassium, every nitrogen, all this. They are giving through pipeline, pipe drip line, the water. They are mixing the nitrogen, potassium, and so many things. And that has been given the this portion of Jatropha and through the cultivation area, cultivated area. This is the rain bed. Rain bed, that means the drip irrigated Jatropha, that is this and this and this. The rain fed 480 liter per hectare system. Biodiesel could be produced 480 liter per hectare. Basin that can be produced on 1,280 liter per hectare land, and this last picture, if you use that mechanism, you can produce 2,080 liter per hectare land, per hectare. So this is most scientific mechanism. And lastly, this is the Jatropha Curcas seeds. Jatropha Curcas seeds to Jatropha Curcas seeding. From that to Jatropha Curcas mature plant. From here, Jatropha Curcas plant with fruits. This is Jatropha Curcas ripe fruits. You just crush it, you will get Jatropha. Again, I am telling, that is, this is Jatropha fruits, seeds. This from these seeds, Jatropha Curcas seeding, we are cultivating that seeds, and from that place, Jatropha Curcas mature plant. Here the Jatropha Curcas plant with fruits. From that plant, we are getting these fruits, that is ripe fruits. If you crush that fruit, you will get that. Clear? Clear. Okay. Now, considering this file, ultimately you will get, using this file, ultimately you get biodiesel. How? Mixing with alcohol. So, Jatropha Curcas fruit oil, its scientific name is triglyceride. So this triglyceride oil or Jatropha oil, along with alcohol, ultimately Jatropha oil, along with alcohol, ultimately you will get the biodiesel production process. Now, on Jatropha oil and biodiesel, unfortunately, these natural resources, Jatropha Curcas, plant is highly affected, mainly by the Mosaic virus that is carried through the infected whiteflies. Infected whiteflies, it causes a great loss in our socio-economic environment. This is the whiteflies, and the genesis of the whiteflies is, these whiteflies are teeny flying insects having dry wax, a dry wax that protects them from adverse situation. And on arrival, these whiteflies, when they come onto the Jatropha Curcas plant and sit on the Jatropha Curcas leaf, then adult lay on arrival, then adult lay egg after first week, and insert stages, pupa stages, and adult fly within a month. And whitefly population enhances with rainfall, but heavy rains may obstruct spread of whitefly. And another thing is most important, these whitefly basically carry the Mosaic virus. And this Mosaic virus is one type of plant virus that causes the leaves of plants with a spotted loop, and spreading mainly depends on the vector white health. We have discussed so many questions last today that Vector-Borne disease, Vector-Borne disease. This white fly, what it creates a problem to the Jatropha Curcas plant, That is basically the Vector-Borne disease. And this is very much associated with Mosaic virus. At low density of the source plant, the disease transmission at a faster rate. And also, these whitefly in the shape of this. This is the white. When it is arrival of the leaf, they lay the egg. This is the egg arriving on the leaf. They lay the egg, and the shape of the leaf is this. But sometimes, some days, they attack the leaf of Jatropha Curcas plant, and the form is to be happen in this. This is the Mosaic plant. These Mosaic virus actually carried by the whitefly. But also, probably you have seen in your house, there are so many pests. They can also attack the Jatropha Curcas plant. Not only Jatropha Curcas plant, so many plants. The pests are attacking. So in the same way, these pests of Jatropha Curcas plant can be attacked by these by these pests. And we have published in 2051 probably. I have forgotten a good word in ecological complexity considering this pest that I will show you. And about the insecticide, now our target is to kill that pest and the whitefly. How? We use safer. And this insecticidal soap is used for Jatropha Curcas plant to control whitefly population. It obstructs adults from flying, and so they are not able to migrate to the neighboring plants. If we spray this plant, so that whitefly cannot migrate to other. And it breaks the assemblies from laying more amounts of eggs. That means the whitefly, when it is arrival on the leaf, if we spray, they are unable to lay the egg. That break down by the safer. And the plants after using pesticide, the form of plant, and this is the Jatropha Curcas plant. So our target is we will do research in such a manner, ultimately we will do this. So your target is to make such type of ecological model population, probably ultimately we will get this kind of. Okay, so this is my first part, and the quotation is: if you cannot live eat for fire, then with the sun. Right?